I am Aisha Abid from Army Public School and College, Honewal. Today, I welcome you all in our biology lesson for class 9. It is a project of AppSec's online support program. Our topic today will be dark reactions of photosynthesis, which is also called Kelvin cycle. Objective: we will be able to understand the concept of dark reactions of photosynthesis or Kelvin cycle. Success criteria: concepts must be clear about the Kelvin cycle. Today is day 4 of week 3rd. What are dark reactions? Dark reactions, they are also called as Kelvin cycle. Another name for these reactions are light independent reactions. The reason behind all these names is that dark reactions do not require light for their functioning, hence named dark reactions or light independent reactions. Kelvin cycle, it is the name given by the scientists who discovered these reactions. We will discuss in detail in a few moments. So, reactions which do not use light directly are called as dark reactions. They are also known as Kelvin cycle. During second phase of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used to make glucose. That you must remember that we have learned in last few days, that photosynthesis occurs in two major steps. First step is light reaction, and the second step is dark reactions. In first step, water and sunlight is used. In the last step or dark reactions, only carbon dioxide is used, and the product will be glucose, which is stored in the fruits of any particular plant. Energy source, obviously these reactions, they do not use light, so light is not the energy source for them. So you might be thinking that what is the source of energy for these reactions, because they are not using light and they are light independent reactions. Here is the answer to your question. They use ATP and NADPH as a source of energy. And where do these two come from? They came from the light reactions, which are products of these reactions. Light reaction is being the first phase of photosynthesis. It gives up ATP and NADPH to the dark reactions as a source of energy. Another important point, do not forget it in any case, is that dark reactions, they always take place in the stroma of chloroplast. What next is who discovered that cycle? Who discovered Kelvin cycle basically? Melvin Kelvin. He discovered the detailed steps of dark reactions at the University of California. The summary of events of dark reactions is also known as Kelvin cycle. Melvin Kelvin, he was awarded with the Nobel Prize in 1961 for his detailed work on photosynthesis. So let's have a look on the events of Kelvin cycle. There are three main events: carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration. You have to remember it as it is: carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration, CRR. Kelvin cycle. In the stroma of chloroplast. What is stroma? It is a fluid inside the chloroplast. You can see here in diagram, this is the structure of chloroplast, which we have discussed in our earlier lectures, that it is the outer membrane of chloroplast, it is the inner membrane of chloroplast. There is the stack of granum in which thylakoids are stacked, and in thylakoids chlorophyll is stored or present for the process of photosynthesis. The fluid here present is stroma, in which Calvin cycle has to take place. First, in order to study all the steps discussed in Calvin cycle, including these three steps, we have already discussed carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration. The first step is carbon fixation, second reduction, and third step is regeneration. We will study, this is a whole cycle of dark reactions. Let's discuss them step by step so that you can understand it fully. I split this diagram into three parts so that for your convenience. In step 1, what happens? Remember, its name is carbon fixation step. In this step, carbon molecules from where? From the carbon dioxide in the air, or the gas which we exhale when we breathe. Carbon molecules from the carbon dioxide, they are combined or joined with 5 carbon compounds to form a temporary 6 carbon compounds. A 5 carbon compound, this you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5 carbon compound. It utilizes 1 carbon of this CO2. Now it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, it becomes a 6 carbon compound. This becomes a stable compound because you can split this molecule and it is equally divided into 3 carbon compounds. You see, like in first step, carbon fixation takes place, or carbon in the from the carbon dioxide, it is fixed with 5 carbon molecule, and now it will become 6 carbon compound. What next? This 6 carbon compound is split from here, and this 5 carbon compound, it just split it from here, you can see. And what becomes of it is each of it split into 3 carbon compound. Now as a result, what we got these 3 carbon molecules. Our first step is completed. In the second step, what happens? The 3 carbon compounds, each 3 carbon compound, it is reduced to a 3 carbon carbohydrate by using ATP and hydrogen from NADPH. These ATP and NADPH, they are coming from light reactions of photosynthesis, while the 3 carbon carbohydrates are used to manufacture glucose. Like you can see here, each 3 carbon compound, ATP is utilized and energy is released. Adenosine triphosphate is converted into adenosine diphosphate. NADPH is oxidized to NADP. It is here the loss of hydrogen. It will be oxidized. Oxidation takes place here. The 3 carbon carbohydrate are used to manufacture glucose, and this 3 carbon compound is used to manufacture glucose. What next? In the third step of dark reaction of Calvin cycle, the 3 carbon carbohydrates are also used to regenerate original 5 carbon compound. Yes, these 3 carbon molecules, they are used to generate this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon compound, and ATP is also utilized here and is converted into ADP. So as our conclusion, what we are getting ATP and NADPH from light dependent reactions, and we are entering into light independent reaction. The source of energy is here, carbon dioxide here. The result is glucose, obviously. So what we learned today is that in the Calvin cycle, series of reaction takes place. 3 reaction: carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration of 5 carbon compound. And our products will be NADP, ATP, sugar, and water. Let's have a quick recap of what we have learned today. Is that dark reaction, they take place in the stroma of chloroplast. Chloroplast is an organelle in which dark reaction is taking place. The products are ATP and NADPH. Further, carbon dioxide is added as a substrate, ATP and NADPH as a source of energy. In chloroplast, the reaction takes place. Sugar is produced, CH2O. It can be glucose, it can be sucrose, anything. ATP, this ATP is oxidized to adenosine diphosphate, or ADP. This NADPH is oxidized to NADH. So today's lesson, we will summarize the reaction, but before, we have to get a quick recap of this full diagram, in which we study that this 3 carbon dioxide molecules are fixed with ribisco. Ribisco is what? This 5 carbon compound. Each carbon from carbon dioxide. It means that 3 carbon dioxide molecules and 3 ribisco molecules. These 5 carbon compounds, each carbon is attached to one 5 carbon compound. It will be 6 carbon compound. This 6 carbon compound is then split into 3 carbon compounds, 3 PGA, and here in this step, ATP and NADPH is utilized. Energy is used from the light reaction energy source, and one 3 carbon compound is used to make glucose, while other 3 carbon compound are used to regenerate these 5 carbon compounds. Because when you see here in this diagram, basically you see that these three molecules, one carbon is take away has been taken away for the formation of sugar. Rest two are going to make this five carbon sugar, which is again used to carry on the cycle. So that was all for Calvin cycle. I hope you understand all the reaction. But before summing up our lesson, we have to compare both light and dark reactions, in which we say that light is a source of for light dependent reactions, in which water is added and light is added. Oxygen as a product is formed, and light reaction occurs in the thylakoid of the chloroplast, while the products are ATP and NADPH. What happens in the stroma? In stroma, Kelvin cycle, it takes place, and the carbon dioxide is fixed with five carbon compound. It is converted into six carbon compound and then split it into three carbon compounds. Three carbon compound is used to generate sugar, while other three carbon compound is used to regenerate that five carbon compound. And this energy ATP and NADPH is utilized, and producing NADP and ADP as a product. While let's have a quick recap of our dark and light reactions, in which what we studied is that dark reaction consists of three phases: carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration. These are three steps. Then in the end we compared the both reactions. In light reactions we got light as a source of energy, but in dark reaction we got ATP and NADPH as a source of energy, which are obviously the products of light dependent reactions. Second point is that light reactions occur in thylakoid membranes of chloroplasts, while light independent reactions or dark reactions or Calvin cycle, they take place in the stroma of the chloroplast. Thirdly, the products of the substrates of light reactions are water, sunlight, obviously water, sunlight, and all the temperature, while the reactants of dark reactions is carbon dioxide, and energy source is ATP and NADPH. Products of light reaction are oxygen, while the products of dark reactions are sugar. So that's all for today. I hope you understand today's lesson very well. If you have any questions, so do ask me in order to clear your concepts. So thank you very much for your attention. Allah Hafiz.